Hi guys, hope you're well and welcome back, and hello anyone that is new. My name is Ellis and I share lots of content over here from personal and self-development, finances and budgeting, the law of attraction, manifestation and mindset, and how to be just a more organised person in general. So if you like that type of content, I would love to have you over here. And today I'm sharing with you something that has been commented on my channel so many times in the past, and this video is going to be on the stuff you just wish they taught you at school. I feel like there are so many elements of different things that we were taught at school, like how to use pi, Pythagoras theorem. There was all these different things, algebra, and actually in the real world, so many of us don't use that sort of stuff. I mean, I can't remember the last time I used pi or algebra or anything like that. But there are things that I feel like so many of us just aren't prepared for when we go out into the real world. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my top 10 things that I wish they taught me at school. So if you want to see exactly what they are, then just continue to watch. Okay, so the first thing that I wanted to touch on was that the 9 to 5 grind isn't all there is to life. Now, when we go to school, as we grow up, it's kind of conditioned into us that we must grow up and we go to work and we work for somebody and we need to do well at our exams. And that is all very, very true. However, there is so much more to life than just working for somebody else. I know from my past experiences that it's definitely more of a generational thing. However, my parents, I don't think would ever think to go and start their own businesses and work for themselves or anything like that, nor with the generations before them. They all believe that going to work and working for somebody else is the way to make money, and they've been very successful at it. However, for me, that isn't what life's about. For me, it's about having more freedom, and I realised soon enough when I had my children that that wasn't what I wanted. Now, I recently did a video on my top 10 side hustles for 2021 that you can do working from home with little to no money, and that is just one of the videos that I brought to you guys, whereby it shows that you don't need to be doing the typical 9 to 5 to make a lot of money and work on your own terms. Now for me, I work from home and I absolutely love it. And this was a transition period for me after I had my children and realising that I just didn't want to work for somebody else telling me that I had to work these hours, dictate when I could go and pick them up from school, when I could see their nativity plays. That's just not it. So whilst yes, going to school, getting good grades and going out to work is a part of life, there are other options other than working for somebody for your entire life. So next on my list, which I wish somebody had taught me at school, was how to budget and how to do so effectively. We are told that we go to school, we earn money, and then that is it. None of us know what to do with that money. None of us know how to save money. None of us know how to invest money. And unless, again, we have family members or people that we can turn to rely on, we are so clueless on how to budget and how to save that money effectively. I think it is a major downfall in society and in our schooling system right now. And I think if people knew how to budget and save effectively, there would be a hell of a lot less debt and people and money problems out there in the world. We all should have enough money as we're growing up and as we leave school and get side incomes that should be able to pay for the bills that we have. And it's when our spending becomes more than our income that we then have those issues. And I think if we knew how to budget and to really look at money more effectively, we wouldn't be in half the scenarios that we're in. Now, I was actually going to put out a video this week and I've actually pushed it back to next week because I just want it to be perfect on how to budget and save effectively, and I cannot wait for you guys to see that. So if that's something you're interested in, then do subscribe and don't forget to turn on your notifications so you're notified when it goes live. I also have a newsletter which you can sign up to as well. I'll leave the link in the description box below so you can be notified when that video goes live, just in case you miss it over here on YouTube as well. But that video is going to be full of so many amazing tips, and it will also give you my own very own personal spreadsheet which I use, all formulated, and so I'm just very excited to share that with you. But I feel like if we knew how to do this stuff, then life would be so much easier. Now, another downfall which I think we're just not taught about and notified about enough is how to buy and save for purchasing your very first home. Again, it's just one of these things that nobody really talks about. I know over here in the UK, money and talking about money is just such a frowned upon thing and no one really does it. And I don't know why. Just because you're talking about money, you're talking about how to save and talking about investments, it doesn't mean anything bad, and it doesn't mean you're trying to boast either. I think it's just something that needs to be more spoken about. I have done a video over on my channel on how I purchased my first property at the age of just 19, and since then we've purchased more houses, and I really think that this is something that should be looked at. If you're considering buying a home, then definitely check that video out, because so many people aren't told the way. And I also think it's really important that we're told about the different methods of buying a home in the UK, what's available to us, the pros and cons of renting against buying, which is something I was going to share over on my channel as well. So if you'd like that video, do let me know. But no one's taught this stuff, and it's really, really important. I think, again, it's one of these things that we go through life not really thinking about. We earn our income, and then we get to a point where in the UK, I know at the moment, deposits are so hard to get, and the housing market is so high in terms of the cost value, and it's almost impossible to get on that property ladder. Next up, I think we should be taught a lot more about gratitude and how your mindset can really impact you as a person individually on a day-to-day basis. No one really talks about what gratitude is, and I'm sure some of you guys might be thinking, what the hell are you talking about? But gratitude is basically something that you can do and a thought process that makes you grateful for everything you currently have in life. I know I went through a stage many, many years ago now of thinking, why not me? Why not me? And I wasn't really thankful for what I did have. So I may have been thinking, why isn't that me that got that promotion in a job? When I had an amazing home that I'd managed to purchase at such a young age. There are so many times when people are not ungrateful, but they just don't see how much they really have. And even just having a roof over your head is something to be grateful for. And when you're grateful and you realize how much you do have, then you realize not to sweat the small stuff so much, and that actually you're in a really good position. Having a positive outlook on life and learning a little bit more about the manifestation process and the law of attraction is something I would highly recommend. I have featured lots of content over here on the law of attraction and manifestation, but I truly believe that's changed my life, and I truly believe that having the right mindset can change yours too. Now, this is another really small one, just linking on from that, but this is about how self-care and your mental health are really important, and if you need help, get it. I think so many of us are led to believe that we just need to keep going, that if we want to achieve our goals, then we've got to stay focused, we've got to keep going, we've got to keep working. And yes, again, to a degree, that is right. But you as a person and your mental health are so important, and you need to take that downtime. It's not just all about the hustle and grind of life, and it's not about working all the time. I think it's really important that you learn to take a step back and look after yourself and realize when you need to do that. If you don't, then you can overwork yourself, and that's when a load of other problems can arise. Mental health is so important, as is self-care, and I really think that if you are struggling, then maybe that's an aspect you should be looking at before anything else. In at number 5, I believe school should be teaching us about credit and about debt. I mentioned this kind of earlier on when I was talking about how to save and budget, but I believe that when people come out of school and children come out of school, they are not aware of what their credit is exactly, and they're not aware of debt. However, I'm pretty sure they're aware of how to get a credit card when they're forced into university and they need overdrafts and loans and all things like this. But no one actually effectively educates them on how to use it and why it's so important. Now, again, this is something that I can talk about further on my channel if you're interested, but having a decent credit score is really important. But some people think, I'll never have a credit card and I'll be fine and I'll have good credit, and that's not quite true. But neither is having a lot of credit, because that can also do you a detriment too. There are really simple things that you can do to improve your credit, which can give you a good standing in the future. But with that comes a lot of responsibility, because so many people don't know how to then handle the credit they are then given. And I think with effectively knowing how to use credit, you can then limit that debt. Now, debt can definitely be seen in a positive way, such as having a mortgage on a property and things like that. But there is also a lot of bad things that can happen when you get into debt. And I really think it's something that we should be learning about a bit more. Another thing that I think should be spoken about a little bit more in school is what other options you have if you don't go to university. I think there's a lot of pressure on kids nowadays that they have to go to university, they have to graduate, they have to get a degree. And again, that is not all there is to life. I'm not saying your education is not important, it is. I come out of school with quite good grades, but I never went to university. I decided in sixth form that it wasn't for me, and I actually dropped out after my first year in sixth form because I just wasn't into it. It's not to say I didn't go on to do anything else, because I then went on to study accountancy. I got a qualification in that and I'm a part qualified accountant, but I then left all of that to come and be self-employed. There are so many different options to you in life, and I think people should really be given a lot of them. There are apprenticeships, there are so many different things that we can do, and I really think that we should be given a lot more of the examples of what you can do, other than just driven to think that you have to go to university, and if you don't, then you're a failure. Now, this is one of, I think, my most favourite things, and I feel like we should be taught this method at secondary school, at primary school even, because we can count at primary school. And this really helps with procrastination and getting stuff done. And so this is the 5-4-3-2-1 method. Mel Robbins speaks about it a lot, and I will leave her YouTube channel linked below if any of you are into mindset and things like that. However, it's a really quick method to make you motivated to get something done. Now, the 5-4-3-2-1 method, if you haven't heard of it before, believes that essentially your brain has 5 seconds to act upon something before it convinces you or somehow persuades you, if it's not something that's actually very enticing to do, that you just don't want to do it, and it will give you an excuse. So if you act upon something in the first 5 seconds of thinking about it, you're more likely to go on and do it. So the way that the 5-4-3-2-1 method works is very, very simple. Simply sit there and say to yourself, I want to film a YouTube video. And instead of procrastinating and giving yourself all the reasons of, but I've got to do my hair, and I've got to do my makeup, and I haven't charged my batteries, and the kids are shouting, or whatever excuse you may have, simply go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and get up and do it. And it's as simple as that. And this can be used on anything, whether it's getting up to go to the shops, whether it's getting up to clean the bathroom, or whatever it may be. Maybe you need to study, whatever it is. Just give yourself 5 seconds and you then go and do it. And that hasn't given your brain enough time to think of all the reasons why you shouldn't be doing it, like you're too tired, or you'd rather watch that box set on Netflix. In at number 9, I feel like we should be taught how to set goals effectively. Now again, I can create some content over this over on my channel if you'd like to know a little bit more about it. However, we are just told to set goals, and then there are so many ways that you can do that. So realistically, you can set a goal that is completely unattainable and unachievable, and then it can put you in a mindset of being really down on yourself for not achieving something, when in reality, it was completely unrealistic from the start. I feel like if we're taught to achieve goals effectively, and we're taught how to do them, set them, and then achieve them, we have such a good outlook into being a happier person and to actually being more productive. It is silly to set goals that are unattainable, and it's also silly to not set goals that you don't have more precise information about to actually help you get there. Now, like I said, there are so many different ways you can do this, and I have used a couple of tried and tested ways myself, and I'm definitely keen to share them with you guys. If you are interested, so do let me know below. And in at number 10, something that I actually feel like is really effective and something that should be really taught to us is about time management. Now, time management is really, really simple, but it's something that's so overlooked, and it would help us in so many things in life. How many times have you gone to do something and you've gone, I just don't have enough time? Well, it's all to help eliminate that. How many times have you gone to do something and then realised that actually you're not spending enough time doing something else? Maybe you've spent all day on the PlayStation and you haven't done the cleaning, or maybe you've spent all day working and you haven't spent enough time with the kids. I know that's one of my downfalls when it comes to my own time management and working. Now, with effective time management, you can definitely help be a more organised individual, spread out your time a lot better, and really see where your time is going. Something I always recommend for highly effective time management is also batching content. So for me, I have days where I dress up, I do my makeup, I get ready, and I film content. And I do all of that in 1 or 2 days a week, and then I have consistent content for the whole week or two going ahead. Now that means that basically I'm being really effective, and every time I don't have to drag the camera out and do this and do that. Likewise, with things that I create in my business, I do the same. I batch when I want to do content production, when I want to do my newsletters, when I'm planning. I don't plan all throughout the week. I add plans in, but I always plan at the beginning of the week. And there's so many more things like this. Even when it comes to simple things like cooking How many of you guys have cooked a meal before and then you're cooking every day of the week? Whereas I will batch cook a big spaghetti bolognese, which is one of my family's favourites, and I have that in the freezer for 2 to 3 weeks then as different kind of meals that I can actually grab out for those days when I still want them to have a good meal, but I just don't have the time to cook. It's about using your time wisely and using it effectively. Okay guys, well they are my top 10 things that I think we should have been taught a little bit more about at school. Let me know, I have so many more of these I could actually share with you. So if you would like a second part to this video, let me know in the comments below and give this video a big thumbs up if you'd like a second version too. But that is all from me. I hope you have a lovely day and I will speak to you all very, very soon. Bye guys.
I'm thinking of you. I'm thinking of you. Wondering if you're thinking about me too.